What's going on, everybody? Respawn Gentleman here. So today I'm going to show you how to complete every single bounty available in chapter 1 right now. So the first challenge is actually really easy. It's just hunt down 10 howlers. Just go at night, run around, find some howlers. So the next challenge also super easy. This is just hunt down 4 spitters. There's not necessarily a super defined place of where to find them. They're just kind of all over the place. I find them actually quite often over in the Northern Trinity area. So you can see there's one right here. I know there's a couple that are back that way, but just find 4 of them and just take them out. So the next challenge is to defeat 3 goons. Now you can find goons kind of all over the map. I find them actually more often in the central loop area, but if you want a guaranteed goon spawn, you want to come over here to the Jack and Joe's camp area in Old Villador, and specifically where this challenge is, this parkour challenge, because there will be a goon and a demolisher right here on this bridge every single time, without fail. They're always here. So there's guaranteed goon spawn. You can kill the goon, go sleep, come back, and he'll be there again. So even during the daytime, they're there. So that's a guaranteed goon spawn right there. So the next challenge is hunting down 10 demolishers, and this is also super easy. Same exact location as the goons. Just be again right here at Jack and Joe's camp by this parkour challenge, and you'll have a goon that is, a demolisher that is always there no matter what, and you'll just sleep and reset and he'll be there again. So that's another quick way to find a demolisher. So the next challenge is to hunt down 2 volatiles. Now that's super easy to do if you go to a hive, which you can check out my video in the description below for a guaranteed hive spawn that will have 3 volatiles in there. So you'll automatically get this challenge completed just by completing the hive. So the next challenge is to defeat 4 banshees. Now there is a specific spawn point for banshees, but you have to have reached the end game. You have to have completed the story in order for these to spawn. Otherwise, the best way is just look for gold encounters and blue encounters, because there's a good chance a banshee might be at one of those. But right here in this area, you have to go to where the buildings were destroyed during the story, and in the garrison area. It's actually right next to the garrison metro. So right here next to the VNC Tower metro station, that's where you need to go. All you gotta do is drop all the way to the bottom of the pit, and there's 1 and 2. So you just fight them in here and fast travel back to the metro and come back, and they'll be there again. So the next challenge is to defeat 3 bolters. Now honestly, the main way of getting these is through the blue encounters, so you just kind of have to get lucky. There's not necessarily a spawn point, so you can see they usually spawn on rooftops for blue encounters. But I will say this: if you have the sunken area, like if you decided to complete the story and you drained the water, if you did that over around this area of the map, I know it's shouted out, but it's right over here, there is 1 bolter that always spawns over here, and you can get him to keep spawning over and over again. If you check out, the video itself is patched, it was a glitch, but if you check out the infinite blue crystal glitch video that I have on my channel, this shows the exact location of where a bolter always spawns, so you can try using that one. Otherwise you will have to wait for the blue encounters. So the next mission is to hunt 4 suiciders. Now there's a couple places you can do this. You can do the banshee spot that I showed you earlier, because there are some suiciders that show up there, but that might be a little bit more difficult. The best way is actually to come over here to the sunken area and go to the radio tower, because right outside the radio tower is a whole bunch of drowners, which do count as suiciders. So you just run up and kill them, and no problems. And just do that a bunch of times. So the next challenge is to get a whole bunch of mutation samples. It's usually about 1,000. So if you complete a hive, they will usually give you almost 1,000 just by doing that. Some of them will actually give you 1,000. So doing the hives and just taking care of all the special infected, like I mentioned before, will definitely give you enough for that one. So the next mission is to complete a regular chapter mission. So the chapter missions can be found in the Trinity station right next to the bazaar. And it's right over here on this board. So we've got the purple one, which is the regular mission, and the elite, which is the gold mission. I'll actually have a guide coming out soon for both of those. So if you're getting stuck on them, in order to get this, you just need to go to Harper and buy the tickets from him. You have to be rank 2 in order to buy the tickets, but then after that, they just cost 200 mutation samples, and then you can go do the regular mission. So this next challenge is super easy. All you have to do is collect a rare or higher crystal core, and So normally you'd have to go into dark zones and things like that, but if you're New Game Plus and you head over to the downtown metro station, inside the GRE container will be an orange crystal. So collecting that will also complete the challenge. I've done this multiple times already. It does work for that as well. So the next challenge is to survive 1 minute in a level 4 chase. This is super easy to do. Just get to a level 4 chase and don't die. One easy spot to do that in is actually right here where I'm on the map, is over here by the Alder Windmill. This is, if you're familiar with the spot that I did the 12K mutation sample video on, I'll also have that linked in the description if you want to check that out. You can go right here. It's super easy. You just jump back and forth using your far jump between these two buildings. And by doing that, you'll eventually get to a level 4 chase, and then just do it for a minute after that, and you'll have that challenge complete. So the next challenge actually can be done in the same exact area. Just make sure it's nighttime. It doesn't have to be during a chase, although that would help you go a little bit faster. Is basically just go to the same exact spot and then just parkour back and forth using far jump. You don't have, like, if you get messed up, that's fine because it stays there. But honestly, you can get to this before you even reach a level 3 chase. Like maybe even halfway through a level 2 chase, you'll have 2,000 night experience just from going back and forth on this parkour right here. So if you're using a chase, it's faster, but you don't have to. So the next one is to perform 10 takedowns on any special infected. Now this mostly applies to howlers and spitters, which you do actually have 2 separate challenges I'll talk about later on for those. So basically all you want to do is just find a howler or a spitter, because those are the easiest ones to do, and then just do a special takedown or a silent takedown from behind. You cannot do an aerial takedown. It does not work. I've tried that a bunch of times. You do have to sneak behind them. Now, I do have a method I'll link in the description as well for an invisibility glitch, which will help tremendously with this. But if you don't want to use that, one thing to make sure you have is the stab skill. I've done this so many times where you get interrupted if you're not using the stab skill, and then it doesn't count, and then you gotta chase started, and then you have to go through that whole mess. So let's just do this howler, for example. I'm gonna drop down behind him, and then I'll do the special takedown with stab. You also have to make sure that you have throwing knives, otherwise you don't do it. Granted, that did happen, so you do got to be careful, but as long as there's no zombies around, it's not really that much of an issue. So the next challenge is to kill 20 infected with fire. Now the easiest thing to do is to use Molotovs, because it's pure fire damage. So you can really go anywhere for this, it doesn't matter. Just find a big group of zombies and throw it down. So depending on how big the group is, you could potentially get them with one. It might take a couple depending on if you got some virals in there, but just literally throw out a Molotov and that'll take care of it for you. So the next one is to acquire crystal cores during the day. Just like the one I mentioned earlier, you can go to the downtown metro station and go to this GRE chest. Notice it's not in there right now because it does take about 30 minutes for these chests to kind of respawn and restock. So all you need to do is make sure it's 30 minutes after the last time you collected it, and boom, there you go. All right, so the next one is defeat a bolter with fall damage. Now I would highly recommend having a level 3 grappling hook. You can do that. You really just have to kind of chase them around until they start climbing on a different building than where you are, and then use it. I highly recommend you to do this in the central loop area because it's so much easier to do it there. So the next challenge, you have to defeat 5 virals during a chase without using weapons. So I feel like the easiest place to do this is going to be right here on the map between downtown and New Dawn Park. It's actually a video I have on my channel for a farming guide for this. I would highly recommend having a level 3 grappling hook or a UV flashlight because that will help with this. I don't know if the frying pan counts as a weapon or not, so that's why I'm not going to be using that. But basically, you can get a chase started, and then using your level 3 grappling hook, you can just pull the virals that are running at you, with the exception of a few, like that guy. And then they'll actually die from fall damage. So you're not using weapons, and you're killing them as well. So just keep doing that until you get the challenge completed. Now for the next challenge, you have to defeat a demolisher using mines. I still feel the easiest place, like I showed you before, is right here on this bridge next to Jack and Joe's camp by the parkour challenge, because like I said, it's a guaranteed spawn. There's a lot of open space. I would also recommend using the electric mines because it does slightly more damage than the regular explosive mine. So you can get them killed just a bit quicker if you have it maxed out. So all you gotta do is throw it down in front of it and just run around and don't get caught in your own mine. For the next challenge, you need to negate fall damage while in a chase by using a viral. So the key skill you have to have for this is you have to have block charge. If you don't have block charge, this will not work. Now, I will say this, if you jump from a lethal height, you will die. That is not going to change. So you want to go up from a height where you'll take damage, but you won't die. So I'm just going to climb up to kind of around the top of this building over here. You get a viral, and we'll see if we can block charge him off. He doesn't do that first. Oh, right here, here's a good guy. And right there, that should negate the fall damage, and you should have the challenge complete after that. So for the next one, you need to defeat a charger by impaling it on spikes. Chargers can really only be found through encounters, whether it's a blue encounter, gold encounter. I happen to be lucky and get a gold encounter that's got 2 chargers. So all you need to do is just jump down to where they are, make sure they see you, and then have them start charging you. Come on, look at me. Then just stand behind the spikes, and boom, there you go, challenge done. The next challenge is to take down a spitter. Now, again, like I said before, takedowns have to be done from behind. Aerial takedowns do not work. So I generally tend to find them a lot more often in the Northern Trinity area, although they can be found anywhere on the map. And they're actually a little bit easier to find up here where they're kind of by themselves. So this one, I kind of took out a lot of zombies around it. So now it's by itself. That's one thing you definitely want to keep in mind, but just sneak up behind it and take it down. Again, you want to use the stab ability because it makes it so much faster. So the next challenge is to cut off a suicider's head before it explodes. Now, I find this easiest to do with the drowners. If you have already drained the city, you can find a ton of them there, but if you didn't drain the city, or if you haven't got to the end of the story yet, then you can also find them in that same area. So where you want to be on the map is actually right next to the radio tower that's in the area. It's really hard to miss. Just kind of keep going south and you'll eventually hit it. There's a few on the road that lead to it. The best thing to do is to sneak up behind them and do a power attack. So we try to sneak up behind this guy without him seeing me. The last time I did this, someone saw me, so gotta be really careful. Get the power attack ready, and bam, off with his head. And there you go, easy as that. So for the next challenge, all you need to do is find a bolter and defeat him with your melee weapons. Actually fairly easy to do. You just gotta make sure he doesn't run too far away. Then just give him a slice, and there you go, that's all you need to do. So for the next challenge, you need to hunt 4 howlers without initiating a chase. So basically, the best way to do that is to do the silent takedowns on them. Sneak up behind them, kill them, and then move on from there. That's the easiest way to do that one. So the next one is to defeat a spitter with a spear. Now, spears are most commonly found at GRE anomalies. Sometimes you might get lucky and have a spitter spawn in one. I'm at this particular GRE anomaly right now. It doesn't matter which one you're at, though. But I can see there is a spitter that's right out here. So all you gotta do is take the spear and throw it at him. And usually it'll take 2, so they'll just run back in here and grab a second one, throw it at him, and you'll be done. So the next one is hunt the volatile while in a level 4 chase. This is really, really easy to do, and especially if you check out my mutation sample guide, you'll definitely have this one done easy. So for the next one, you just need to defeat a banshee using ranged weapons only. You can use your bow, your PK crossbow, it doesn't really matter. Just go to the location on the map I showed you before. If you don't remember, it's the broken area. Again, this is only after you've completed the game. This is a guaranteed spot to find 2 of them. So we'll just jump down here, all the way to the bottom. And there's one right there. So then, hopefully without dying, you can actually shoot one. There we go. Should take a couple shots, and there you go. That's all you need to do. So the next challenge is to make a goon defeat 5 biters. Now the easiest place to do this I've found is actually going to be right here at the military convoy next to the large windmill, because there's a ton of enemies around, so getting him to hit them is not that hard to do. So you want to go down here, and all you want to do is just provoke him. You know, make him want to hit you, and then just basically let him swing his weapon around until 5 of them are dead. That's all you got to do. So the next one is to defeat special infected at night using explosives. Now, you should be able to use mines for this, but definitely the DIY grenade is a really great option. So I'm just going to throw one right down here at this. Yeah, well, he's dead now. It was a spitter, and he's massively dead. So just keep doing that until you have the challenge complete. The next challenge is to hunt 3 chargers. Now there's 2 ways to do this. You can either just run around the map until you happen to find the chargers at either the blue or gold encounters, or you can also do the Harper regular mission, because that one will have at least one charger in there, and I think the elite mission has at least one as well, so that's another thing you can do to get those. So the next one is to defeat a goon using toxic damage. So there's two ways you can do this. You can either put toxic on your weapon, which, you know, if that's something you want to do, fantastic. I use it on all my weapons. Or you can use toxic arrows or toxic bolts. Either one works. So again, the goon location that always spawns is gonna be right here on the bridge next to Jack and Joe's camp. And here's one right here. So I'm just gonna shoot him 2 times, and we're gonna let the toxic damage do the killing. We'll get him a little bit closer, and it should work. Just don't kill him all the way with the arrows like I did, and you should get him done with the toxic damage. So the next challenge is to defeat a demolisher using bleed damage. So you can go to the same spot and then either use bleed on your weapon, or you can use bleed arrows or bleed bolts like I'm using, and then just keep shooting him until he's dead, and then that should get the challenge. So we're going to keep it going here a little bit, and there we go. That should do it for you. So for the next challenge, it says you have to collect 30 valuables in one night. This one's actually really easy to do. So you can do this with any of the farms that I've had videos on. You can even do this inside of a hive, which is actually highly recommended. If you go into a hive and you just don't kill the hive, you'll have constant viral spawning. So then just keep killing them till you've done about 30 or more. And then when you're done, just kill the volatile hive and then just collect all of them, and you will have that one complete. So the next one is to find and destroy a volatile hive. Now, I have a guide on my channel to get guaranteed volatile hives, but if you don't want to go to the quarantine zone, or you haven't completed that quarantine zone yet, then you can also find them in dark hollows. So just either use that guide to get a guaranteed one and defeat it, or just run around the map until you see one and then go defeat that one. So next is a weekly challenge. Now this one, all you need to do is collect some mutation samples. Generally it's about 5,000, even though the image says 1,000. It's generally about 5,000 you need to collect. So just kill special infected and then just pick up their stuff and you'll get enough. The next weekly challenge is another find hives and destroy them. It's usually about 5 hives. So just go find 5 hives and destroy them. Again, you can use my guaranteed hive farming guide, and that will get that done extremely quickly for you. So the last weekly challenge is to hunt down volatile tyrants. Now, you can get a guaranteed tyrant by just completing the elite mission for Harper and doing that 3 times, and there you go, challenge complete. If you don't want to do the challenge, or if you're struggling with the challenge, first of all, I will have some guides coming out soon for those, so definitely check those out when those get released. But before that, there's a few places I want to show you where I do know tyrants spawn. I still am working on a guide to kind of getting it more down of how often they spawn. But one I've seen a lot of times over here in Northern Trinity by the Alder Windmill. I'm right here in this area. I've seen one spawn. I've also seen one spawn on this building right here next to the Holy Trinity Metro. I've seen that happen quite often. And the other one that I've seen the most is actually on this building right here, right across from the place where you go to meet Lawan for the first time, and the downtown metro. So right on this building, that's the locations I've seen them the most often, but you can find them anywhere or just by doing the elite challenge. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Dying Light content, make sure to like and subscribe. If more challenges get released, I will have a video guide for those as well. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.